Well, hello there, people of the internet. Welcome to Carpo 719, the channel that is brought to you by nature. Sponsored by nature, always. And, uh, and a little bag of this. What do you think this is? Well, honestly, a small baggie full of white powder could be anything. Could be sugar, could be flour, could be salt. You could look at the texture and get an idea, maybe. Could put a little bit in your mouth. That would be a really, really bad idea because it could be fentanyl, for all you know. But the truth is, this is sugar. And I use it as an example of how easy it would be for a police officer who is right in the middle of searching a car to find something and think, oh, this is definitely a drug. I'll never forget the cop who found powdered donut residue and thought it was cocaine. And they tried to press charges on this guy. And here's the sad thing: when cops do stupid shit and citizens sue, even if they win, that comes out of my pocket, your pocket, whatever police department you have. If they get sued for doing stupid shit, that comes out of your pocket. Now, the reason this happens is because taxes pay for it, because they have qualified immunity. Most police have qualified immunity, which means if they do something, make a mistake, let's say, in the line of duty, then that can be accommodated for and paid for by the taxpayer if there's a lawsuit. Now, I believe it was Denver. I could be wrong, but there's a city in Colorado that eliminated qualified immunity. They were, as far as I know, the first city to do so. And this means that police officers are personally responsible if they violate your civil rights. Now, I'm not a cop hater. I know we need police. I know we need cops to protect society against thugs and shitty people. There are plenty of them out there. And if a person thinks, oh, how do you know a person's a thug? You just know. Okay, the guy who stole 5 of our cars 4 or 5 times now, the people who stole my kid's trike out of the yard right after I bought it, the people who my neighbors say, oh, we saw some homeless guy coming out of your yard, just looking through your shit. These people exist, okay? No matter how much people might want to isolate and insulate themselves from the true crime out there, it happens. And you can put up a fence. You can live in the country. There are many things you can do. But if you live in the suburbs, more or less like I do, the old school suburbs, I live in a ranch-style house in Vancouver, Washington, which is across the bridge from Portland. Far enough away to where I don't have to deal with Portland's bullshit, but close enough to where Portland kind of rubs off on the area. And there are random people walking around at night, and there's nothing I can do about that except have my security cameras, have a kill switch for my car, which I do, and I set it every night, lock my doors, and just hope for the best. But that's beside the point. But it's also part of the point. Besides my personal responsibility, it's good to know that if I need to call 911, the cops can show up and at least take my report, even if they tell me there ain't nothing they can do. And by the way, if you ever get your car stolen, there's nothing they can do or will do. If it comes up, it comes up. That's pretty much what happens. If you don't, you should put an air tag or a kill switch in your car. Otherwise, you probably won't get it back. And newer cars are not safer. They're actually worse because push button start cars are so easy to steal now. And I drive an old 2001 Honda Accord with a fuel cutoff switch, and that's good enough for me. But the point is, I don't trust a lot of people. I know there are criminals everywhere. But I also know that when the police are bored, they will tend to become the criminals. and not just bored, if they feel underpaid, if they feel undervalued, underrespected. The worse we treat police, the worse they're going to treat the public. And there are far less of them than us, meaning that if the public hates the police, then the police is going to hate the public. And this is a conundrum because I believe a police officer picturing a guy spinning his baton, walking the beat, you know, back in the day, wearing a police uniform, not a baklava or some sort of a head, scarf to cover who you are, and a ballistics vest and a tank to go in to bust a guy who had a weed garden, which, you know, plenty of times the SWAT team has come to bust a guy who grows pot. This has been ongoing for decades. And plenty of stories of people getting hurt, dogs getting shot, people's lives upended over weed. And we finally realized that this is pretty stupid that we're doing this. And we legalized it now in like half the states. I mean, let's take a moment to give props to what we actually have here. Legalization of marijuana in half the states. That is epic. It's a super win. And drugs are winning the war on drugs because we know we can't stop it. We just need to regulate it, figure it out. And so I bring this up because in Portland, a lot of people know that we legalized drugs, all drugs. Possession of any drug in Portland pretty much is just either a $100 ticket or I think it's a $100 ticket, or you go to treatment. It's like a treatment reference, but they don't have the accommodations for it. They don't have the ability to even get the people in that need help, and people know that. But I read an article yesterday that this just happened the other day that Wheeler, the governor of Portland, or mayor of Portland, I don't remember exactly how it went down, but they basically went back on the decriminalization of all drugs. They removed fentanyl from the list of drugs that were accepted. So now if you possess fentanyl in any amount, it's still a misdemeanor and you can still go to jail for it. Interesting, because even though a person may say that's a good thing because we need to get those people off the street, they don't realize we don't have the jail space. We don't have the beds. But not only that, even if you put a person in jail, you have to remove someone else. Maybe even a person who harmed somebody else. But on top of that, you have to be able to give a public defender to these people to defend themselves. And if there aren't enough available, they get set free. So we wasted all this jail space and beds for a person that's not going to be charged anyway. This is why I am libertarian when it comes to drugs. I believe in decriminalization of all drugs. Not legalization. No, I don't think you should have to go to the weed store to buy weed. That's legalization. That means we've already made it illegal, then we're going to legalize it with stipulations. No, decriminalization means just let people have what they have, leave them alone. And a lot of police have said that this has destroyed their informant network. In other words, there's no narcs now because they can't bust people with small amounts of weed and meth or anything else and have them turn in the big dealers because they don't care, because they won't get in trouble. Look, I'm a little anarchist on this issue, but I don't believe that authority has the right to tell you what you can put in your body ever. I don't think, because, a lot of people that are really conservative say that they want cops to bust these drug users and drug dealers. And all I can say to anyone who claims to be a conservative who believes this, I would say, do you believe in the freedom to choose what you put in your body? There may be a person out there who's totally opposed to the vax, but also opposed to marijuana. In other words, personal choice about what you put in your body is a personal choice. It doesn't matter. There's no this or that, well, certain conditions apply. It doesn't work that way. No. We are all born free agents, and we are trying to navigate this world on our own and together. And I believe that allowing people to consume substances that they think will help them is not something that should be fucked with, ever. I believe strongly about that. But that's because I don't believe in a nanny state, because I believe in my own self-control. But I know a lot of people don't have that, and people will overdose, there will be problems, but it's not the cops' responsibility to deal with these things. And this is why, when we talked about defunding the police, it wasn't about getting rid of cops. Sure, there's a subset of people out there who just want to get rid of cops. Those people are douchebags, complete idiots. They tried that in Seattle with their stupid little town, whatever they called it. It didn't work out very well, because without some sort of order, everything falls apart. We know this. But defunding the police was more about diverting some of the funds that go to police busting people for drugs, drug forces, task forces that bust drug runners and drug dealers, and taking that money and moving it into places where it can be better utilized, such as in psychiatric help, or in counseling, or in people, normal people like you and me, who decide to go down and work for a nonprofit, to go down and talk to people who need help and help them and have the resources to help them. That's where the money should go. We don't need millions of dollars to a police force. The reason we have a problem with society and need police is because of the way that it's run, not because of the way that people are naturally. Most people mean well. Most people are kind. And it's just sad to see so much waste. It really is. It's sad to see a war between cops and people. It's sad to see a war between people and other people based on political views or religion or anything else. It's really sad to see people not see the connections we really do have, and to spend so much time separating themselves from the rest of us. And the more people, hate police, the more police are going to hate people. So, I mean, I don't know how much else I can say about it, but I respect a good police officer. A guy who goes to work every day and does his job to protect the public in his own town. I've seen some amazing cops. I've also seen some cops who are bored and want to take advantage of the system and are easily corruptible, because people are human. It's not about how intelligent they are. It's not about a fight between good and bad. It's just people. And we have to understand each other. And god damn it, I hope we figure that shit out, because I see the potential in our society. Cops do bad shit. People do bad shit. We need cops, but we don't need bad cops. We need to figure out how to eliminate the groupthink that allows good cops to be corrupted by bad cops. Maybe it's that simple. I don't know. Peace out.